Welcome back. We are now in segment 8.5, and in this segment we will be discussing about excess drawals and ad hoc limits. So far in this chapter we have discussed about working capital limit, the requirement, why companies need working capital requirement, and we see in the various assessment methods. We also had a discussion on the holding levels, the concept of holding levels, and the various assessment methods, right? So now banks have completed the assessment. Right? Say you're a company, you have applied for a particular limit and bank has sanctioned the limit, right? Say for example, bank has sanctioned 200 lakhs, right? The company has submitted the proposal, application was processed, and MPBF was arrived at 200 by some method, maybe the second method of lending, and limit was sanctioned at 200 lakhs. Now you know that the limit will be sanctioned usually for a period of 1 year, right? It is not that the bank will be calling for the renewal papers every month, right? It is not that. For the next one full year, the bank will be sanctioning a limit. Say we are in July 2014, right? So what bank will do for the next 1 year? It will be taking the projections, right? It will taking the projections, and it will be arriving at the likely requirement for the working capital limit. So it has sanctioned 200 lakhs. So till say this is 20th July. So till 20th July 2015, the company has to manage with this limit of 200 lakhs. Right? This is the assessment. The requirement of the company might exceed 200 lakhs due to various reasons. Right? It is perfectly possible. Right? Say for example, during this period, the company might require an amount more than 200 lakhs. Possible. Why? So there might be very many reasons for this. Say for example, so some products are seasonal in nature. So during that period, during that peak period, there might be very high demand from the customers. So maybe other reason could be there might be scarcity in raw material due to some transport strike and things like that. So there might be situations, there might be brief periods. I'm not saying this for the whole year, but there might be brief periods, right? Say in a matter of days or months, very few, say for example, so 15 days or 30 days, like 1 or 2 months. For a brief period, the requirement might be more than the sanction limit. So in those situations, and these are genuine, right? These are genuine requirement. So if the requirement is genuine, what banks do is they sanction something called excess drawal. Okay, what is excess drawal? As the name implies, you're allowing the company to draw beyond the sanction limit. So the limit is fixed to 200 lakhs, but you're allowing the company to draw more than 200 lakhs. You can go up to 205, 210, right? You are allowing the company to exceed this sanction limit, but for a brief period. So usually excess drawal is for a period of 15 days, right? Your bank might have a different policy, but usually excess drawal is for a very short duration, usually for 15 days. And how much more than the sanction limit? Again, it varies from bank to bank, but you can usually say it's 20%. So in this example, we had 200 lakhs as a sanction limit. So now it can go up to 240 lakhs. So the excess drawal will be fixed for 240 lakhs. So during this 15 days period, the company can utilize up to 240 lakhs. Of course, there will be some additional interest, right? Obviously, there will be, so regular interest is say 15%. Maybe bank will charge say 16% or 17%, right? For this 40 lakhs, additional 40 lakhs for this period. Okay. So you have to understand that excess drawal is for a brief period, right? So what happens after 15 days, the company has to bring down this limit to within the 200 lakhs. Okay. It's only for this 15 days, right? So after 15 days, the limit has to be regularized. Regularized means it has to be brought down within 200 lakhs. So how the company will bring it down to 200 lakhs? So initially it was 200 lakhs. The excess drawal was sanctioned on day 1, and till day 15, the company can go up to 240 lakhs. So the company will draw this 240 lakhs, right? It will then maybe it will do some it'll purchase some material, it will do some processing, it will sell some goods, seasonal demand for this brief period. It will realize cash, right? With that sales proceed, it will bring down the outstanding. It will create that sales proceeds to the CC account, and obviously the limit will slowly start coming down, and by the 15th day it has to come down to 200 within the sanction limit. So this is the process. Now there might be situations when the 15 days when the limit allowed for 15 days is too small a period. Maybe this cycle will not be completed in 15 days, right? Say the company wanted 240 lakhs, you allowed them, but to bring it down to 240, maybe it will take a lot of time, or that is one reason, or the company itself might require this extended limit for a larger period than 15 days, say 1 month or 2 months. So the other way in which banks allow the limit to be exceeded is ad hoc limit. Okay, right? Is ad hoc limit. Say for example, the company has got a major order, And to execute this order, the existing limit of 200 lakhs is not sufficient. So the company will apply for ad hoc limit. Now ad hoc limit is one difference is ad hoc limit is for a more period than excess drawal. That is one difference, right? So we said that excess drawals is usually for a very short period, like in matter of days, say 15 days. But ad hoc limit can go up to 3 months, right? So within the company will be having time to exceed the limit. Say up to 240, it can go for 3 months. So within these 3 months, so once the 3 months is over, the company has to bring this liability back to the original sanction limit. Okay, that is one reason. The period is different. So this is the ad hoc limit is for a larger period. Usually for 3 months, excess drawal is for only 15 days. The second difference is ad hoc limit requires documentation, right? Ad hoc limits require documentation. Documentation is not required for excess drawal, but for ad hoc limit you require documentation. Okay. So regarding the policy guidelines, banks will be having, we said bank will be having what is that percentage beyond which the sanction limit can exceed. This varies from bank to bank. We said it is 20%, but it might vary. Period, we said it 15 days for excess drawal and 3 months for ad hoc limit. This might vary, right? These are the usual norms. Bank policy might also say the number of times the excess drawals or ad hoc limit can be allowed within that 1 year. Say the limit is renewed for 1 year. So during this 1 year period, so can the company take excess drawal as it likes, right? So there's a total 365 days for this renewal, for the next renewal. So on day one, so on the 10th day, the company exceeds the limit by 20% and brings it back within the 15 days. Then can it go again second time, third time? Like how many times within this? So technically speaking, if you're giving the gap for 15 days, the company can go up to 365 by 15 times. This is more than 20 times, isn't it? Company can exceed. So is it allowed? Right? It will bring down. It will take the excess drawal, take 15 days. Somehow adjust the excess drawal by some outside funds. Again on the 16th day it will take a fresh excess drawal. Again on the 30th day it will adjust. Can it go on doing like this? So if it does like this, you are essentially having a limit of 240 for the whole 1 year. Right? That is not the purpose. So if this is the case, your assessment is faulty. You thought the limit 200 is sufficient for the whole year, but whereas the company is using 240 lakhs for this is not what you want, or the company is somehow utilizing the excess money for some other purpose. You don't want this sort of situation. So banks will be restricting the number of times the excess drawals can be allowed during this one year period. So maybe let us say 6 times, right, or 10 times, whatever, as per the bank's policy. Ad hoc limit will be for a lesser month because the duration is more. So 3 months duration, so maybe 2 or 3 times. Right? This depends on the policy. So these three things you have to refer to your own bank's policy, loan policy guidelines to see how it varies, how it is implemented in your bank, right? So this was a short segment. Excess drawal and ad hoc limit are widely used in the credit portfolio, widely used in banks, right? Companies usually you will be coming for a requirement. Usually will be having a requirement. You see the assess limits. The assess limit might be so why companies go for excess drawal and ad hoc limit is something for a number of reasons. One reason might be you didn't sanction the asked limit. Maybe the company applied for 300 lakhs, you sanctioned only 250 lakhs due to various reasons. Might be the performance of the company was not up to the mark, the security was not sufficient. Maybe various reasons. Maybe the requirement itself was not sanctioned. So maybe his company is coming for excess drawal. That could be the reason. Or your assessment itself might be faulty. Assessment not on your part. Maybe the company itself has prepared the CMA data conservatively. Say it thought that the holding level for say raw material stock is 2 months will be sufficient. Whereas when it comes to reality, maybe it is requiring to maintain more than this level, say 2.5 months or 3 months. You don't know. So maybe the assumptions itself in the CMA data regarding the holding levels might be wrong. So due to various reasons, company might be required to might require a higher drawing than the sanction limit. It is in those situations when excess drawal and ad hoc limit will be coming to the rescue, right? So with this we come to the end of this chapter, end of this segment. In the next segment we'll be talking about a very important concept, current ratio, right? See you then.